Shalom, shalom, beautiful people. How you doing? As you can see, the Nubian King is out getting my walk-in for today. I'm out here on the Mediterranean. This is the inlet going into the area where people park their boats and yachts and what have you. And then all out there is the Mediterranean Sea. Beautiful blue water. Now, if you keep going in this direction, you will run into the east coast of the United States of America. That's the Mediterranean. You go out there, you got Algiers, you got Turkey up there, you got France, Spain, way over there. And then down here in this region, you got Egypt, and up in that direction, up north there, you got Lebanon. Yeah. But I'm out here getting a walk on today. It's a beautiful day, as you can see, not a cloud in the sky, not too hot, not too cold, just perfect to be outside. Today is Wednesday, and got a little short time off from starting a new project in Tel Aviv next week, and finished up over there at Intel. Those of you that's been following me know that I've been working at Intel for 2 years, and finished the service over there, and I'll start in Tel Aviv at another project operating a different type crane. So I needed these few days to take care of some errands and just kind of de-stress, because you all the years I've been operating the crane, which is over 32 now, getting up to 33, I've learned to pace myself. You don't jump from project to project, because each project have a whole different set of parameters you have to deal with. And so it's always wise to give yourself some time to unwind from one project as you get into another one. And I'm told that this particular project in Tel Aviv has a lifeline of 1.5 years. I really hope that I don't be there for 1.5 years, because my objective is to get up out of Israel. It's enough for me. And, I'm tired of being the only brother in the midst of Europeans that don't understand me. The Israelis, they doing their thing. They're in the country, and they're controlling it. And they're controlling it for their betterment, their benefit. Is there something wrong with that? No, it's not nothing wrong with that. You're supposed to control your life to better your life, improve your life, and also have a better life set up for your children, or at least prepare a way that your children will have a better life after you have worked. Had a conversation this morning with my youngest daughter. I have three girls and 3 boys. And she just starting out. She's 20. She got a job working at a clothing store. She like it. And I was just giving her the breakdown on the money situation. I came in Israel in 1981, and it was hella hard. They was calling us Kushi Bum Bum, which is the same thing as black niggers in America. And we lived through that era. And, reading a great brother 50 Cent book, and a portion of it, he said that getting robbed in the street and getting robbed in the corporate room is the same thing. It's just different looks of the robbery, but the objective is the same. You still getting robbed. One, he said, when you get robbed in the street at the point of a gun, at least the robber give you the benefit of seeing the gun, and you're getting robbed. But in the corporate room, you sitting there with guys with $2,000 suits on, expensive shoes, briefcase, and nice pen, paper, and contracts. But they robbing you just the same, especially when you're not sharp to read and understand those contracts. You understand? It's still robbery. The thing about Israel, they set the country up for them, okay? What does that mean? The benefit and the perks and the breaks and all of those type things that you would benefit is for them. They never told me that I couldn't own a business because I've opened four auto detail shops here, and I was doing some contractor work, building. Never was I told that I couldn't do it. Even when I went into the office during a strike. In Israel, they have some funny strikes. You know, they had the most funny strike. Everybody is working, but they're not receiving the public. And they call that a strike. But everybody's in that office. When you call a strike in other places, like, you know, the people outside, ain't nobody working. They got the line, the picket line or whatever. But Israel, they do a strike and everybody's in the office. What are they striking about? They want more money. But they working. Okay, but they not receiving the public. What kind of strike is that? So anyway, when I wanted to apply for the general contractor's license, they was on strike. They were not receiving the public. Did that stop me? No. Because I'm the type person that, look, I'm going to push it as far as I absolutely can push it until it get to a point where there is not 1 millimeter more to push it. So I got up in the offices, past security. I don't know what I told the security guys down. So I just don't even remember. But whatever, it worked. And I got upstairs, and remember now, everybody's on strike. Everybody up there work with each other. They've been there for years. Everybody know everybody, and everybody can look at me and tell I was not one of their coworkers. So I'm walking down the hall, and I'm looking for the office of, permits, license, and contracts and stuff. And I'm reading the signs, and I was standing at this door, and this was the place I was supposed to go. But the door was this thick, bulletproof, heavy door with that thick 4-inch glass and a punch code, key code, numbers. And as I was standing there reading the sign, this Israeli dude, he walks up. He said, "You need to get in that office." I'm like, "Yeah." He didn't question me about who, what. He just punched them keys, the door open. I walked in. When I walked in, the door closed. And to the left was a woman sitting in the office. She looked up as if to say, "What?" But she didn't do anything. And I kept walking until I went through the whole place. It was offices on the left and on the right. So finally, when I got to the last office, it was the last office on the left. A woman was sitting there, and she looked up, and I stood there, and she looked at me, and she said, "Can I help you?" Yeah, I'm looking for the office where I can submit my request to get a general contractor's license. She said, "This is the right place." She said, "Come in, have a seat." Now remember, they're on strike. Remember, they're not receiving the public. Okay? But she said, "Come on in, have a seat." I sat down, and she said, "So what do you want to do?" I said, "I want to upgrade from a subcontractor to a general contractor so I can start bidding on these government projects." She said, "Oh, okay." She reached in her desk drawer, pulled out these few sheets of paper. She said, "Okay, you fill this out, and we'll get the process going." I'm like, "Okay." I had been told that it's very expensive to have that done here in Israel, to get your general contractor's license. Well, again, I'm not the type, brother, that listen to people in the street telling me about stuff. I've been around long enough to understand that you need to listen to the people that are the principals in these offices that, they're in the agency, they're working. They know the detail and the latest information. Your friends and partners and folks out there in the street, they talking, trying to make themselves sound good and look good. And more than likely, they giving you some wrong information. So I don't stop right there because somebody say, oh, it's expensive. I get to the desk, woman say, sit down. She give me all these papers, and I ask her, well, how much does this process cost? She said, 2,500 shekels. What? Oh, okay. So I said, is that the application fee or what? She said, no. The whole process is 2,500 shekels. I said, well, is there any more money I need to pay for this? She said, no. Well, why would you pay more money? There you go. See, the people, oh man, it's expensive. It's a lot of money. She said, hey, and she looked like, maybe I was concerned that it might have been a lot of money. And she said, you can make payments on that. You don't have to pay it all at one time. What? That's it. She said, once you submit these documents, you pay the 2,500. You can write 2 or 3 checks or credit card, whatever. And we start the process. Well, how long does the process take? She said, give yourself about 6 months and you should have your general contractor license. Then you can put bids to government contract. What? Just that easy. Now, this is the woman in the office that's on strike, not receiving the public, but there I was, getting it done, okay? So, what am I telling you that for? Israel can be a tough country to live in. Prices is hella high and steady going up, just like basically all over the world. And the salary's not going up. So, you gotta really, it would be wonderful to have 2-3 streams of income. That's why a lot of people are working together, the couples relationship, and the different roommates or whatnot to deal with some of this stuff. But for me, I've always had that entrepreneur spirit to open your business and do what you do. That's where I really got a lesson on how Israel worked, especially in the business arena. They have certain benefits and perks that, they know about, and they pass them down to their children, their friends or relatives or whoever, and they know the different offices, the different benefits and the perks and stuff. Me, I didn't have that type of information when I started out. At the time, I didn't have the different Israeli friends that were willing to tell me. Now I do. I have Israeli business men and women that I can simply pick the phone up, make a phone call, ask a question, and get the information I need. And they can connect me. They will connect me to other resources, that they know are available. But it's at a point now where I spiritually don't have the desire to do it. I'm 62. I hit 63, in July. I've been here since 1981. May this year be 43 years. And I've been through it, in it, round it, through it, and back again. And I can honestly admit to you, I'm spiritually tired of fighting it. Yeah. I really absolutely thought that I would be somewhere else in my life before I even came to Israel. And I'm sharing with you insights that maybe will help you make your decisions. Man, it was a battle. The status situation, we was persona non grata for a while. I came over with the Hebrew community, and it was rough. I lived for years with no status. And I got skills, mad skills, operate those big cranes. You see them tower cranes up there? Let me see if I can zoom in. Yeah, I operate those for 10 years. Good at it, you know. Back in the day, I didn't have no status, no citizenship, and no crane license. I worked with guys that, you know, they like, I remember one Israeli superintendent told me, I said, I don't have a license yet. I said yet, like I'm gonna get them. I didn't have a license, nor did I have status. And that dude said, where would you put your license if you had them? I'm like, what do you mean? He said, would you put them in your wallet, your pocket, or what? I said, I'll put them in my wallet. He said, then where would you put your wallet? I said, in my pocket. He said, so who will be operating the crane, you or the license? I said, me. He said, okay, get up there and show me what you can do. And there I was. I was working without the license because he said them daggone license gonna be sitting in your pocket and you gonna be operating the crane. That's what I need. And I got up there and rocked it. And that guy owned the company and he actually submitted all the documents to get my first license and he paid the money because the brother is good. And I worked with him till we finished all his projects. I thanked him for it. And I've been licensed here in Israel ever since. In America, yes, I have the NCCO certification. I have the OSHA 500, 510 safety certification, the forklift, the CDLs. I got the hazmat endorsement. So, solid as a rock. And I'm in a union of international engineers out of Miami, 487B, that I talked with Wally last month, and he was here. Happy to hear. He's been with the union down there for years. My membership is just on pause because they know I'm in Israel. I worked on the City Center project in Las Vegas when I was out there. I went out to the States in 2005. And that's how I got to Miami right after Hurricane Katrina. Matter of fact, I was in Atlanta, Georgia. Hurricane Katrina blew through. And at the time, the business administrator over local 487B in Miami was Gary Waters. And he told me to post up in Atlanta until that bad hurricane blow over. And I did, and it blew over. That was Katrina. And one of the tower crane got knocked down there. It didn't kill anybody, it just, fell over, did some damage. And so after they got everything back up running, I flew into Miami and I worked down there 2-3 years. And it was beautiful. It was a blessing because the union needed operators and I went in and operated for them. And they, blessed me with full journeyman. Because what I did for them, they said, you are not no rookie. You definitely ain't no beginner. Because in order for a man to do what you did, they brought me in full journeyman. And I appreciate it. Paid me good. And, I came to Israel. And over here, I rocked those tower cranes for a while. But I've been working the big heavy lift cranes. The ones on the ground that stick up in the air. And I put in my work, I put in my work. I put in those hours. I sat in them cranes from 6, 7 in the morning to 8, 9, 10 at night. 1 hour break. And I paid my dues. And, I don't know, man. I'm just, before you come to Israel, you really need to do your homework and have an absolute, beyond a shadow of doubt, very good reason as to why. Because your status thing is what's really going to jam you up. If you don't get your citizenship and work permit, you'll be over here struggling like a mofo. And whatever you do, do not, disregard their instruction when it comes to the status or even the visa. Don't come to Israel on a 90-day visa and stay 1 minute over that visa because the minimum time that they'll keep you out of Israel is 7 years. That's minimum. After the 7 years, will you be able to get back in here? It's a big, and I mean a huge maybe. So don't if you come, don't make that mistake. I've seen them over the years come in and they stay a day after their visa and end up getting deported. But before they deport you, it's not like, okay, you go, they put you on a plane, they put you in jail and they leave you there and you don't know how long or whatever, and then they just walk you out to the airplane and there you are. It'd be nasty. It don't be like, okay, sir, you got to go. So don't do yourself like that before you come over here. And I know I done ran into people get all spiritual, talking about Jesus, the Bible, and whatever belief system they based on, and they had a spiritual revelation to come to Israel and teach the word of Jesus. I ran into a guy that came here on a tourist visa and stayed 5 years. And now get this is real. This dude stayed 5 years over his visa. And I'm like, but why did you come to Israel in the first place? He said, I was moved by the Spirit of God to come to Jerusalem and teach the word of Jesus. What? Like, they ain't got enough people running around Jerusalem talking about Jesus, dude. Are you nuts? And he stayed 5 years over his visa. Man, he went to the airport. They had a barbecue with his butt. He went out. And then not long after he went out, he came back. And they clowned him. Wouldn't let him in. Absolutely not. He man, please. You on your record for 5 years over the visa? Are you nuts? So he left. And then he waited a while. He came back again. And what did they do? Didn't let him in. And so a friend of his that was in communication with him asked me about it. And I told him, I said, dude, you stay 1 minute over that visa, they gonna clown you. And this dude stayed 5 years. I said, just tell him, I said, just prepare. He need to go and teach the word of Jesus somewhere else because he will not be coming back in Israel. 5 years over the visa. Forget it. Send him a letter. Not getting in here. So if you're thinking about coming to Israel, you better have your reason and you need to get your, somehow, I don't know, it's all different kind of ways. That's on you. Get your status or something, do your conversion, or however y'all figure you need to do it. But don't come up in here on a spiritual trip and you can't get a job, work, and take care of yourself. Because you'll be right back where you came from. Because after you get here and struggle enough, you're going to realize, oops, I made a bad decision. Don't do that. Other than that, now on the other side, if you come and you got good skills like I do, you'll be working all the time like I do. One sister came up, she was in IT, had a bunch of years experience. Man, I didn't see her but 1-2 times. She was in Tel Aviv. I think they started her something like $25,000 a month. Yeah, they pay that kind of money, man. Because you got Google, Microsoft, Facebook, IBM, Ford, the motor companies, and several other high-tech firms up there from America. That's in the city of Herzliya Bituach. That's little America. Just about all the homes up there got swimming pools in the back. Everybody speak English because it's all American companies, big money. And they do poaching. I remember one season where young folks without college degrees that knew how to code and program, they was poaching them at 70,000 shekels a month. Like, what? 20 some odd $30,000, man. They were paying that kind of money. Teenagers. Yes, sir, Bob. So on the other side, if you come, you got skills, then I can't quote to you how the status, a work permit process go. You have to do all that work on your own. The reason why I'm not trying to give you the information, because it's always changing. And see, I could tell you something now, tomorrow it'd be all different. So if you do have some good skills that are in high demand, which are anything in the tech industry, the high tech industry, you're going to be getting some good money and you're going to be working. Now, the other thing, Tel Aviv, they prices is like New York. You can get you a 2-bedroom joint, costs you $3,500 minimum, and it ain't gonna be no knockdown, drag out. Hey, let's go see this crib. It's gonna be apartment. But when you get up to the $4,000 and $5,000 a month, now you can be talking some smoke. Invite your friends over, do a little cookout, or cook-in, or whatever. But that Tel Aviv, man, it ain't nothing to play with. They playing hardball up there. And see this place over here, packed full of Americans. Guys working at Intel. They got, see this place, let me blow it up. All that, let me see, where my finger. This building, all there, oops, the finger losing the focus. Let me do this. See this building, all across there? That's mainly where Americans stay over here on the beach. And most of them are employed over there in Kiryat Gat and Intel, which is a 20-minute jump straight across, the highway. Over here too, these buildings, most of them American, and over in that section, you can't see it, but they got the bars where they be, and over there, the whole, boardwalk where you see. Most of all them Americans up in there, living, laughing, drinking, working in the high-tech industry over there at Intel. They got a lot of people, thousands of people over there day and night. But, they got work permit and skill. So that's on the other end of the spectrum. If you got skills, especially in the high-tech area, you can program code, security system, cyber security and AI and all of that. You can make your money, live pretty good. So, that's basically how that go. And then you have to deal with the culture. If you coming out of America, you have to deal with the Israeli culture. The way they think and do things is different than America. You can't think that you're going to jump off the plane and come up in here and jive be the way, Americans do it. Like yesterday, a day before yesterday, I was talking with a brother over there in Colorado, and I shot him a video of this store, this grocery store, that had a lot of products outside in front of the grocery store, just like they used to do back in the old days. And he was like, wow. I showed him, I said, look, I'm a black man. So I reached and started picking up some of the stuff. Didn't nobody run out there, black man out here, black man stealing, black man, go get the police, shoot him, kill him, I said, look, bro, I am a black man out here with all of this stuff. I said, where the people at? I did the whole video. Nobody was out there. They had cameras, and then some of the people was in the store working, and they glanced out there and saw me. Ain't nobody panicked, hit the button. Oh, it's a black man out there around our stuff. No, man. I said, bro, no. See, they still have that honor code where they can put a lot of stuff outside and not watch it because ain't nobody stealing it. Now, I live in this city, and I could show you some places that, like I showed the brother. But it's a lot of places in Israel to do that. It's one store over here, a huge supermarket called Osha'ad. Man, they have thousands of items outside. And the security ain't walking up, down, police and everybody looking, because people go out there, they look through the stuff, get what they want, throw it in their bucket, go inside, pay for it, and go on about their business. Rarely do you see someone stealing. As a matter of fact, I tell you, instant, I had a friend of mine and I was at a mall a year ago, 2 years ago. And, we just browsing around, it's quiet. And then all of a sudden we heard somebody holler out, Tavo, Doctor, Tavo, Tele Kabbalah, Kabbalah, I need Timo Kabbalah big tours. The security guard was telling this girl, get over here. Show me the receipt. If you ain't got no receipt, I'm going to put you in jail. Where the receipt at? And so I looked around because, it was quiet. When he hollered like that, it caught everybody off guard. So everybody was looking like, what the hell? And me and my friend was standing there looking like, what? The girl was shoplifting and got caught. Do you know the thing that I thought about? Man, I was standing there with my mouth open saying to myself, Shazam, when the last time I seen someone shoplifting? Man, I'm standing there like, what? Seriously? Shoplifting? And so me and my friend, we was like, whoa, did you? Yeah. And it's so rare since I've been here, 43 years in May. Next month, 43 years. That was the first and only time I would experience something like that. This little girl was shoplifting. They took her out, whatever. So, do it sound like I'm a little spoiled? Yeah, I'm not a little spoiled. I'm very spoiled. You see, I'm out here talking to you all. Man, I walk freely day and night. Don't about to bother me. I was talking with the brother the other day, sitting over here. It was a Shabbat, Saturday, packed full of people, police, everybody, security guard, and I'm sitting on the bench, on the phone. Only soul brother out there. Did anybody bother me? Absolutely not. Matter of fact, the police rolled by. He looked, he smiled, he waved, threw his hand up, and kept boogieing on down the road. He didn't jump out. Oh, black man, let me see you. Get on the ground. Let me see your ID. For what? Because I think you might have did something because you black sitting out here. Ain't none of that. Cop rolled by, smiled, threw his hand up. I waved at him. Ain't no reason to bother Big Papa. That's a Nubian king. Brother sitting out here chilling. And that was that. So, you have some pros and cons. And that's basically any country. Every country got its good and bad. So you can't say your country is the best country in the world because there are some things about your country that's absolute crappy. In other countries, it's different. So don't let anybody convince you to think that you got the greatest country in the world because you got some great crap going on that other people in the world don't have to deal with. I've been here 43 years. Now here's something else for you. Next month will be 43 whole years I've been here, and I can honestly say to you that I do not. Now let me slow down. Make sure you get this. I've been here 43 years, and I cannot tell you of any racial incident that I've experienced because I'm a brother. 43 years of living here. Don't you think that if it was some racial bullshiggity, I would have gone through it now? Okay, for you naysayers and audios, you all that's going to try to figure something, read something into it. There's other ways that racism can pick up its head. Have I experienced that? I'm going to say 50-50. I'm going to leave it at that. Because everything that I have been involved in, it worked to my favor. But, even the things that I thought was racist, when I finally got to the bottom of it, it wasn't. It was procedures. See, that's a difference. That's a difference. See, you have to be able to, you got to be able to distinguish between what you feel and what's real. And so you may have felt it was racist, You may have felt it was racist, but if you just calm down, you'll find out it wasn't racist, it was procedures. When the girl was telling you dust, and dust, you thinking, oh, she, sending me through all that bull crap cause I'm black. No, she's sending you through that because that is the procedure. You understand? Just calm down and get your panties out a bunch and do it. It's just like now I'm going through a procedures, dealing with some business. And, when I call, the only thing they know is what the computer tell them. And one department don't overlap with the other and share information. So when I call one department, they have no clue what the other department told me. I have to tell them. And they like, well, if they told you that, then you need to deal with them concerning that. You understand? So it's just a way you have to learn to interact with the system. And the system never said I couldn't do it. It just, no one never just opened up back in the day and told me the advantages that's there that I could benefit from. You follow me? So anyway, you think about coming here to Israel, just have your ducks lined up. Because it can be a monster if you ain't got your paper. And I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it. Israelis live good that's got the paper. Money. You ain't got no money, you are going to struggle. And that's any country. It's any country, anywhere in the world. So don't make it seem like Israel is, oh man, they work. Hey, you could pop up in places as cheap as Iloilo, Philippines with no money and you're going to struggle. Stuff so cheap. Okay, another place, the Dominican Republic. Place like Cybereti? Cybereti, I think that's what you pronounce it. In the Philippines, where you can get a pound or more of fruit for $1.50. That's no money, right? But if you ain't got that $1.50, you ain't gonna get that pound of fruit. So you're gonna struggle. You see what I'm saying? As cheap as it is to live in Sasua or Cybereti, I think I may be pronouncing it correct, in the Dominican Republic, if you ain't got that $1.50, you ain't gonna eat. You follow what I'm saying? So don't think that, places are more expensive than others. Israel, they know what they got, and they be going hard with that money, man. Like, okay, this is what you want, pay me for it. And that's it. And you have to just understand the culture and the mindset. That's all. Is it wrong? You have some people say, yeah, it ain't right, it ain't fair. At the same time, remember, for now, they're in control. And that's really, you can come with all your spiritual exegeses and this, that, and other, and the God and the Bible and the future and who said and this land, my land. Right now, at this particular moment, they're in control. And that's it. And, I done heard it all. People talk about this, our land, and they invaders and whatever. Okay. All right. I'm not saying that's not true. The Hebrews, I know all of that. The Jesus Christ, all of that. But right now in 2024, this is April, 4th, 3rd, 4th, 5th, something like that. Guess who's running this place? There you go. We got to deal with reality. And you got to be able to distinguish the difference between what you feel and what's real. And right now they're running is real. Get with the program. Now, I done put you up on some things. If you're talking about coming here, for you to consider. Don't jump up in here on no spiritual trip talking about you coming on a tourist visa and you're going to teach the word of God and the scriptures. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. These people are born and taught in an educational system where they read the Bible, study the Bible. My children went to the Israeli school system, all of them, Tanakh, Hebrew, they speak Hebrew, English. One of my oldest daughters speak 4 languages, Hebrew, English, French, and Spanish. My youngest daughter, she was studying Hebrew, Russian, and English. And she would correct me on how to say it, Kakderla. She sounded just like, Svetlana. I said, say it again, baby. She said, Kakderla. Wow. I said, baby girl, you sound like Svetlana from, Kosovo or somewhere. She just laughed because she was learning Russian in school with her Hebrew and English. So they multilingual. And listen, when you have children that speak 2 or 3 languages, they are more intelligent because more of their brain cell was brought up working. You know, just like I got a granddaughter, she's speaking Hebrew, English, and her mother speaks Spanish to her. This little girl, 3 years old, and she already can go through 3 different languages, just as full of life, you know what I'm saying? And so even myself, when I started studying Hebrew years ago, I noticed a change with my thought process. It just, even your ears work better because you hear the Hebrew words, the English word, you hear the Arabic words. And then, you know, I've studied some few Russian words, and your ear gets sharp to where you can hear the different dialects, the tone. Even when I worked the 4.5 years out there with the Chinese, I picked up some Chinese words. Tao Hao, Ni Hao. And then the name you is very popular. But the dude, one guy, he said, "What's your name?" He said, "You." And I asked the other guy, "What's his name?" He said, "You." I'm like, "Both of y'all yous?" He said, "No." And I'm like, "What? But you just said you. Both of y'all just said your name is you." But they didn't. See, the thing is, it's a you, and what it is, you have to hear the N. It's a you and you. You see what I'm saying? And what did you hear? When I said the first name is you, and then I said the second name is you. Did you hear a difference? If you're not hearing a difference, that means your ears haven't trained. The difference is the first name began up and the first name end up and the second name end down. That's what makes the two difference. And this is what the guys taught me. His name is you and the other name is you. You see the difference now? If I say it like that, you and then you. That's what it was. And so in speaking them languages, you learn, your ear gets sharp, your mind gets sharp, more cells fire, and you oscillate. You stand there, you talking with a guy in Arabic, Bismillah Rabbil Alameen, Habibi, you know, and then you had to, you know, deal with their names, Hassan, and then Khalid. You know, you got Khalid, Khali, you know, and Fatma, right? And Loai. And so you have to learn to pronounce them because, you know, they're saying it, Khalid, and sometimes you have to, if you really want to get it right, you have to ask them to write it out so you can see it. Because Khalid, you got Khalid and Khali. Khali and Khalid. And then if you listen to them and it's noise and you really can't hear, he's telling you Khalid. And then the other one is saying, my name is Khali and Khalid. And right there at the end is the difference. And like if you out there on the job site or wherever and you can't hear that end, then, you know, you be mispronouncing the name. But all of that, you know, is just something that's, you know, good to have. But being in Israel, you're going to deal with them different languages and different cultures. You understand? And you can't be culturally stupid to where you go over to an individual that's, you know, a Palestinian, a Muslim, or Islamic, whatever, and they eat on the floor. They don't eat on the floor. They put things down because I put up a video. I went to a dinner, like I think it was the first Friday of Ramadan. And, you know, it's a real good close friend of mine, Ali. And I ate with his family, and they put the plastic and covered the area, and we all sat on the mats and ate. And I hadn't eaten that much in so long, man. The next day I was in the bed at 4 o'clock that afternoon. Boy, I just say I don't eat that much that heavy. Like today, right now, it's 10 minutes to 4 in the afternoon. I haven't eaten anything. I've been out here. You know, I got up, cleaned up the house, and I haven't eaten anything today. And when I go home and to eat, I'm gonna eat a salad. Yeah. I'm gonna eat a salad, make me a nice little dressing, and I'm gonna eat that salad, and I'll be satisfied. I had my protein and spirulina and everything, my maca before I came out here walking. And that's why I got so much power and not hungry now. But when I get home, I'm going to have a salad, and so that's going to be that. Or I may do a little soup or something light. But when I went to dinner with Ali, all that food, whoo, man, I was in the bed the next day to like 4:30 in the afternoon. We finished and I got home by 10, 11 at night, took a nice shower, got in them sheets. At about 12 midnight, I was in that bed until 4 o'clock the next afternoon coming out of it because I don't eat that much, Not like that. All those different items that we ate, woof. Wee. It was after Ramadan and they went for it, brother. You could tell they had been fasting. But anyway, it's a beautiful thing living in Israel culturally. It's a lot of other things that once you get past the technicals and kind of get into it, you'll find that it's some things that you'll be cool with. One thing, my experience as being, a soul brother, black man in Israel, is I've ran into more Israelis that do not want to be associated with racism than people that's actually racist that want to do something stupid to me. That's been my experience. Most of them, like, they don't want to be seen as racist. I remember this incident happened several years ago. This sister from the Hebrew community, the African Hebrew Israelites of Jerusalem out of Dimona, this sister was riding on a bus up in Tel Aviv, and this evil, racist Israeli woman just acted a fool with that black girl. Man, this heathen was a devil, talking all crazy, and the people on the bus, was putting it in check. And then the video went viral, and some Israeli people saw it and was embarrassed, and they literally drove all the way down to Dimona from wherever they came from and took the sister a bouquet of roses and then I think some can of something, and she met with them, her and her husband, and they apologized. The woman that did that, I think she did manicures or some kind of little entrepreneur business. They drove her out of business. She shut down all her social media account. They drove her in a hole. And these was Israelis that, came out to apologize to the sister because they said they don't want to be seen and associated with racist people, and they just wanted to humbly apologize for that woman's action. And they said, we've dealt with it, and we found out, man, they pushed that woman into a hole. I don't know what she's doing, but she had no more social media presence. Her little business that she was doing disappeared, and that was a wrap. So, that's my story when it comes to racism, that the 43 years, I don't have a story. And I don't expect to have a story. You understand? Because I don't be in them kind of areas and circles. And there's really no reason for anybody over here to deal with me in that manner. But, I'm not naive either. You understand? I have a little tight area that I even go to. Like all over there, that boardwalk and everything. Man, I ain't been over there in so long. I would come through and ride my bike through there. I mean, it ain't nothing but stores and restaurants. They got a movie theater over there, a McDonald's over there, a restaurant over there. That's all it is. Somewhere to eat, drink beer, eat, drink, eat potatoes, eat bread. You got a restaurant over there, the sugar bar, scuba bar, all that. So what I want to do over there? I'm vegan, and most of their stuff I don't even want, because they restaurant, they running businesses, they out there to make a profit, and they cooking in stainless, they cooking in aluminum pots. And they using oil that's dirt cheap, which is going to be canola oil. So why would I want to go over there? You understand? I don't go over there. I remember my son did videos, and he did some videos out here on the beach. And he wanted me in it, me and his mother, and we did it, And when we finished, we ended up going over here to this restaurant. And, they ordered pasta for me. And my other son, they had ordered pizza, what have you, and soup. And I have to admit, that pasta was absolutely terrible. I couldn't even eat it. Man, I'm like, whoa, you know, see when you always prepare your own food in your own kitchen with your own stainless steel high-end utensils, you know, it'd be an energy to that. You go and you get your product, you know, your organic onions and fruits and vegetables, where have you, when they're available, and they're always basically available, because here in Ascalon, when you get over there at the entrance of the city, you're only 1 mile from one of the most popular organic farms in the country. This girl, I know her family and everybody, and they make that food right there. You know, it's like here is the tent, and right out there is the field. I remember one time they ran out of rocock lettuce. And I asked the girl, because she had turned me on, the girl that owned the farm, she had turned me, she said, Richard, you know anything about rocock lettuce? No. So she let me taste some. She pulled it out the bag. She said, get you some. I said, right out the bag? I said, yeah. I said, don't it need to be washed? She said, no, because I use, she said she used neem oil. Out of Africa, she used neem oil for pesticides. She said, so they don't use chemicals at all. And so I ate some. Whoo, that lettuce was good. Rocock. It had a unique flavor. I'm like, whoa, give me 6 bags of this. And so every Thursday from 10 in the morning to 6 in the evening, you can go there and shop. She said shop under the tent, right? What they do, they bring out, they line up the tables and put all their vegetables that they sell on the table, and you can get what you want. It's all organic. And so one time I bought some papaya specifically to get the seeds, because it was something I was cleaning on, and the papaya didn't have seeds. And I was, what? So I took it back to her. I said, look. She said, what's up? This papaya, it's not organic. She said, why you say that? I said, it didn't have no seeds in it. Her eyes bucked. She said, what? I said, I specifically got this papaya because I wanted the seeds to do some cleansing, you know. They good for parasites or what have you. And she took that papaya. She said, oh, no, this can't be like this. And she explained to me that because she had one of the most popular, well-known organic farms, that she do work with other organic growers that she vet personally as to their land, their process and everything. And she said, in order to get on her table, you got to be 100% ironclad. And she was pissed. So she called the guy that, you know, brought that papaya, and she went in office. I heard her tearing him a new butthole, you know, and the whole thing was that one of her dear customers brought her back this papaya with no seeds in it. And she said, I'm canceling your membership. You will not be able to bring no fruit to my table from this day forward. I'm like, Shazam. She went in on him, you know, because we are serious about that organic. And the thing about America is, where are they growing all this organic food, that Whole Food, who at one time was the United Snakes of America, largest organic distributor. The question is, where are they growing all this organic produce? You know, onions, tomatoes, pepper, corn, lettuce. Where? When you talking about Bill Gates is own more property and a couple other white boys in the government, where they growing all this organic food? You know, Gates ain't out there trying to go. He wants you to eat that stuff he making in the laboratory. So where's all this organic crap coming from? Now, the 365 brand that's been Whole Food, it got busted a few years ago. This little girl, you know, was learning to read. And you know how children now, when they learn to read, they read everything. All kind of signs, they read everything. So this woman that went shopping came with the bags of lettuce, and the child read the front of it, the back, and over in the bottom right-hand corner, the last line in a little bit of writing, it said product of China. And the girl questioned her mother about it. She said, Mama, what does this mean, product of China? And the mother looked, what? And she said, hold up. It was the 365 organic lettuce being sold in. What? And so she took it to the store. The manager told her, get on up out of there. And then banned her from coming back. So she went to one of those investigative news reporters. They checked up on it, come to find out they were getting that lettuce from China. You know, daggone smoking well. They don't have no jurisdiction in China, so ain't no telling how they was doing that lettuce. See how they be cheating? I mean, come on now. You just, Woof. So anyway, another good thing, I know the girl, and the day that I went one time to get this rocock lettuce, she was out. And I mentioned it to her. I said, hey, you don't have no rocock out there on the table. She said, what? She said, we out? I said, yeah. So she went out there and looked. She said, wow, I didn't know that. So she called one of her girls. She said, go get me some rocock. And so the girl, she grabbed a little green basket and some scissors. And she went out there and she came back with a basket full of rocock. And so the owner, she stood there and bagged them up. She said, how many want? I said, I want 6. And she bagged me up 6 bags. And you can't get no more fresher than that. I saw that girl walk out that tent over in that garden, clipped the lettuce, brought it back, and boom. So I can verify it. That lettuce was grown right out there. Now, where can you verify you getting your lettuce from? So, you know, it's some pros and cons with living with Israel. You just have to, you know, decide on what you want. That's all. Did you see this weather? It ain't a cloud in the sky. And what's this, April what? 4th? Something like that. And I'm out here just walking, talking to you 56 minutes. And you interested because you're getting to see inside of Ashkelon, Israel. And the brother is talking, enjoying his life. Am I spoiled? Yeah. To a certain extent, absolutely. I don't have to be worried about the things that stress brothers and sisters out in America, especially dealing with the police. Man, we've been seeing so many stories. Look at that. What kind of fish is that? That little, I don't know if you can see that. Look like, you see right there? What's that, jellyfish? It might be. You know, all those stories we be hearing on the internet about how the police done got up on the brothers and sisters. Old buddy out there throwing some fish. Come out doing some fishing for the day. He ought to catch something. I see a bunch of fish out there in the water. If he know what he doing, he ought to get something because he out there. Yeah, so, man, I've been hearing so many crazy stories. You know that mayor, the black woman over there in Dalton, Illinois, making all that noise, sound like a straight ghetto thug. And then she got all those police officers. How you make, what did she say, 80, 90 hours overtime? How you make 90 hours overtime? Police officer. One dude paycheck for 1 week was 13,000 shekels. Man, come on, sister. So, you know, I watched that little meeting, and her top dog police captain, he was real special. One more outburst, no clapping. You can't clap. What? One more outburst, I'm gonna close this meeting down. Whew. I ain't got to deal with all that. Look at that. See all them fish out there? See, they up here today when all them jokers be out there fishing, I don't even see them in the water. They be like, yeah, nah, y'all ain't gonna get us. Now, that's a nice size one right there rolling with the rest of them. Better be careful. Old boy done threw something out there in the water, some kind of meat or something. And I see the fish over there biting. You see the bubbles? You can't see it because of the camera. But he did something. He threw something out there. Maybe some pieces of other fish. And I can see him nibbling at it. Look at that. He probably gonna get him something. So you see how I'm carrying it, man? I'm like, you know, I ain't stressing about nothing. Somebody asked me, you gonna move back to America? Hell no. Are you kidding me? Look at that. He got him a fish already. Oh, that's too small, dude. Throw that thing away. That's a nibble for your cat. The cat said, no. The cat jumped on the rock. He said, man, I don't want that little bit of thing. He trying to give it to the cat. The cat said, nigga, throw that back in the water. I don't want that. How the cat don't want the fish? He said, no, man, throw that thing back in the water. It ain't nothing but a snack. Woo-hoo. Yeah, so anyway, you know, my name. Yeah, so, you know, man, I'm just chilling like a villain. I got a nice little sweat. I'm enjoying the sun. That's what I wanted, to do that. I'm not hungry because all that spirulina and maca powder, protein powder, creatine I ate before I came out here. Feel good. This is what you have to do, get away from all the noise, get you somewhere quiet, relaxing, so you can unwind from the bullshiggity of the United Snakes of America and Joe Biden and Benjamin Netanyahu and bombs and Gaza and Kyiv and Russia and Ukraine and lies and thieves and Nancy Pelosi and everybody else. Woo. You got to de-stress, get away from that stuff. And don't go to bed after you done seen the CNN with constant negative news. You don't want that to be the last thing in your mind. Constant negative news, CNN. And you go to bed and that be on your mind and you be having dreams. Don't do that. Go over there and get you some cartoons or some, funny shows, some comedy. Listen to some comedy or something. Laugh and get a good energy. Then go to sleep. But if you go out there on that constant negative news, CNN, and go to bed behind that, you probably have some real bad dreams. You know what I mean? Anyway, I done spent some good time talking to you. Hope I said something interesting that you like. Go ahead and subscribe and tell some more folks. Subscribe. I'm going to be walking out here pretty regular. But you know what? I have to see how the work in Tel Aviv going to be. Because they say they start at 6:30 in the morning to 6 in the evening. I don't want to do no stuff like that, man. I done did this here for years, man. Who the hell want to work like that? Go ahead and subscribe. Talk to you.